Alright. Let's just make this full screen, I think. Everyone ready? Everyone got popcorn?
All right, everyone, welcome back to Speedsouls Charity Marathon 2022. We are still here raising money for Save the Children. Thank you so much for tuning in. Right now, we have Too Easy with Halo Reach Legendary.
How's it going? Thanks for having me here. I'm here with a very special guest, Ben, commentating my run for me. Thanks for being here, man.
Yo. Hey, no worries. Happy to be here.
Alright, so I'm just gonna go ahead and restart the mission, and we will go from there. So I'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start the timer. So, this is Halo Reach Legendary, the hardest difficulty of the game. This is one of the hardest Halo games on Legendary. But it means we get to play a lot of it kind of safe, do a lot of skips, and then do some combat focused on killing enemies and staying alive. And some of the time we'll be running past and praying we don't get shot. Yeah. This first mission is the most broken level of the whole speedrun. And we're not going to fight a lot of enemies there. But I'll let Ben explain the nitty-gritty of what we're doing here while I focus.
Yeah, so this, as Too Easy said, like this level is like a perfect example of what's gonna happen for the rest of the run. Like, there is an immediate out of bounds, and then there is probably something that many of you will have never seen before unless you've seen Halo.
I caked that introduction so hard, like I don't know, man. I just like was not prepared at all.
Reach runs before. So the first thing Too Easy is gonna
the other commentator is English Ben. He is a long-time fan of the Halo Reach speedrun. Been watching it for years. He's been hanging out my chat for like most of the last time I've been playing the game. But the reason I had him commentate is because he's a Speedsouls community guy. He's one of the organizers of this marathon. And he helped me out, gave me a lot of advice on my first marathon run for ESA as well. So I kind of wanted someone from the Speedsouls community with me on commentary. Just because I would feel a little bit less nervous, like running in front of a brand new community who like no one knows me, no one necessarily knows Halo. But if it was Ben on commentary with me, who knows Halo and obviously is from the Speedsouls community, it made me feel a lot more comfortable.
Do is, instead of heading straight down and running all the way around this massive rock, you can simply just climb up, and if you climb up a certain way, there are usually these barriers where you can, like, it obviously blocks you, and then obviously Halo also has this thing where if you go out of bounds too far, it'll start counting down before it'll kill you. But with the right amount of movement, you can sort of slide over between two barriers and end up like skipping this entire section straight away. So within about 20 seconds of gameplay, you're already out of bounds and going all the way around these huge invisible barriers.
So now we're on the roof. We're going to hit the level triggers in the wrong order, like in reverse order, so that we can acquire a couple things that we need. First thing is a plasma pistol. Now that guy had a needler, and oh, thank goodness, okay. So we have our plasma pistol. Next thing we need to do is hit a load and get a safety checkpoint. And we're going to use this plasma pistol to shoot down the allied vehicle and commandeer it ourselves.
Boss, I see movement outside your structure.
Yeah,
we
so
can't,
when you use
we're
the
not
plasma
supposed to be able to
pistol,
fly it.
yeah, it's usually like a very kind of weak weapon that people might overlook, but it has a thing where if you hold the button to shoot it and then let go, it overcharges. And if you shoot a vehicle with
That's why I get that checkpoint.
actually just completely disables the vehicle. So with the right amount of timing, you can shoot the Allied Falcon, which is one of the big planes that are used by your allies, and you can shoot it down and grab it very early. You are never intended to do this. Most people don't even know the Falcon exists. Never mind that you can actually grab it and fly it around right at the start of the game. and this will be used for a very big skip, which will skip this entire section coming up.
Got the checkpoint. So now, barriers in Halo are elastic barriers, which means you can push into them and get pushed back. So I didn't get a seat the first time, get a seat on the bus, but this time I'm gonna wedge myself inside this Covenant ship. This was so YOLO. And then it's gonna push me into the barrier hard enough that the barrier actually pushes me out the other side because it's not affected by the barrier. And here we go, we're through. We're now out of bounds, we can fly to the edge of the map. Well, there is no edge, we can just keep flying forever actually. And but we're gonna fly right to the end of the mission and load in the outpost and kill everything. Usually you're supposed to do about 2 or 3 side objectives and then hop in a Falcon auto-scroller and ride your way here, but now we're just gonna get here straight away.
It's
now
very
that everything's
convenient
dead.
that they put, yeah, they put the final trigger like right next to where you were. So instead of driving all the way around where you do a couple of fights and then you grab a Warhog, drive to an objective and then fly back, as Too Easy said, you can literally just shoot a couple of things, fly there yourself in like 30 seconds.
So now we're gonna deload the outpost again so that we don't have to do the wave fight that's there. And some other reasons as well. I'm gonna do a new time save that's been discovered in the last couple weeks actually.
I do this route because if you like diagonal fly and like fly perfectly, you can make it just in time. And also if you know where to fly. But this route you can get sucked in bounds, and you can also be too late if you don't diagonal fly and like turn optimally. The other route just makes it free basically.
I'm gonna fly over,
like
over this zone
30
which you normally
seconds
go to casually.
to
And it's going to
get
teleport
in, back
my
and
ally
load
there,
in the
who
thing.
opens this door for me usually, in the outpost. Now I'm going to fly back to the outpost and load it in. And the wave fighter's going haywire at this point, because it's trying to spawn in enemies and they're trying to do things. But the place doesn't exist. I've also duplicated my ally, which is a rare thing that can happen. It's good luck for the marathon. Got 2 Emils going on here.
This is very exciting. New tech at a marathon.
Yeah. And this is the door that's supposed
just for clarification, I usually do this route that I've done here only in ILs because it makes purely because it makes the auto splitter work. And I do the Django deload in full game. But then I've just been doing heaps of ILs of WC lately, so my brain just defaulted to to IL strats. But yeah, they're the same speed. Just one of them makes the auto splitter work.
and it should delete the door just at the right time. And here we have the first combat. The important thing here is getting lucky.
The end of level.
Need to get the right gun from this guy. I did not get the right gun. So I want to let this zealot go. I don't have the firepower to take him on. I'm not sure what he's doing.
Look at this mouse, guys.
He might have
like,
stuck around.
like,
Not get the right gun.
just watch my mouse.
To let this
I'm so
zealot
nervous.
go. I don't have the firepower to take him on. I'm not sure what he's doing though. I think he might have stuck around. Oh no, it looks like he's gone.
Yeah, when you kill grunts in this game, there is a random chance whether they drop a needler, which is it does have its uses, but it's much less useful in general in this run than a plasma pistol is. Because plasma pistols can also be used to take away shields of elites and stronger enemies very quickly. You'll see it used a lot later on.
Alright, I'll hope
No
for a checkpoint here.
checkpoint.
Didn't get it, so I'm gonna play a little bit safe. Need to kill this dude. Whew. Got him.
I relaxed so hard right here.
Almost got stuck. That would have been bad.
Oh god. How did that
Wipes
kill me?
the hands because they're covered in sweat.
This guy outplayed me so hard. I don't know which
Watch
direction.
this hand wipe.
That would have been bad.
Oh god. How did that kill me, man? This guy outplayed me so hard. I don't know which direction to dodge. Alright, that's a big revert.
Yeah,
That's
so there,
alright,
there
though.
are two elites here. There's
This
the
is only
Zero
like
with the
700
concussion
viewers
rifle,
go.
who is quite a big threat
I was-
to start off. You can kill him right.
I was 10 times more nervous for this than I was for ESA with 8K viewers or GDQ with like I don't even know how many viewers there were, or when I had the Summit raid. I don't know how many that was either, but some 6,000 or something. But I was more nervous for this just because I am a Speedsouls fanboy, and all the runners that I first started watching were like, you know, a lot of them were in chat, and like, yeah. And it's like the community, like if you do like a bad run in front of like a bunch of marathon casual viewers, like no one knows it's a bad run. But this is like all speedrunners in the audience, or like people who, you know, watch speedruns a lot. And it's a brand new community, so I just felt more nervous for this.
Here in the first bit of the fight, if you have the firepower to do so, but it's quite difficult on Legendary. But you don't have to fight him right now. If you just leave him, eventually he runs away and you can fight him right at the end like you saw before. There is also another one with a sword. Now, elites with swords will insta-kill you on Legendary, like most of the time, so you got to be very careful. But also, they just run at you in a straight line. Yeah, very nice. Checkpoints are kind of tricky sometimes, in the sense of getting them. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It feels a little random. But the simple idea is that you need to be not in combat, hence why you can delay them by punching. And you need to be in what is considered a safe area. But where the game considers you safe can...
I'm like smiling because I think it's funny. Like I think it's funny because that death was like a huge death, really embarrassing death, but it was all because of nerves. And like because of that, I felt okay about it. If I just like wasn't nervous and did that death, I'd get like tilted and like probably a bit anxious and sad. But because like I only literally 1,000,000% only died there because of nerves, I was like, okay, this is fine. All I need to do is not be nervous, you know? Like I can easily fix that. Like
sometimes be quite questionable, to say the least.
So I'm gonna go for this once. It's like the IL strat, just for memes. But he's probably gonna punch me in the face and kill me. Oh, we got him! All right, we have a chance to save a lot of time.
Nice.
But it's also matters whether I get shot. No, they missed the cool
This
stuff.
courtyard here is a huge fight that you have to take out a couple of enemies to trigger the next sequence, but you don't have to kill everything. So the IL strat is that you basically just run and tank the first elite.
So happy that I got this.
Target detonator or designator? Which one? Doesn't matter.
Designator.
Whatever. It's target.
I think
that's the one. Yeah.
It targets things and calls down an airstrike. So that's
exactly.
awesome to get that in a marathon,
like
by the way.
Yeah, basically like a 5-kill streak on Call of Duty. You just come down and nuke everyone in the courtyard.
We get it? Is everything dead? Ah, something's hiding somewhere. It's really unlucky,
Tragic.
actually. Ah, that would have been so cool.
Yeah, it would have been very nice.
Come
I mean, you
on.
did the hard part. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Alright. So we're still saving quite a bit of time here. Over doing the normal strat. We just kill everything manually without having access to the airstrike. But yeah, that was, I've gone for that in all of my marathon runs so far. Every single time he just punches me right in the face and kills me. But we managed to outplay him that
Elites
time.
can be tricky to face head on Legendary, because they say sometimes they just melee you and it's dead immediately.
Halo Reach elites are not to be trifled with in melee range, unlike in the other games where you can like, kind of easily bait their animations. Bungie did not want you to be able to do that in this game. And then this is where I just gave the nerves just disappeared. I reckon. Once you get to Oni, it's like, okay, this is
So the idea
really
of the
unlucky.
rest of this level, once you're out... Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, it's just he flipped out and he could have killed me. Sorry, go on.
The idea of the rest of this level is you need to hit a sequence of buttons on these in these big courtyards, and there are huge fights here that you're intended to do. But again, good use of the target designator to kind of you know, just nuke everything as we go in, and then also using the button hitboxes, which are way bigger than you think they are.
Yeah.
You can actually press all of the buttons from like unintended locations, from like outside. So you can just sort of do a scoop around the map and grab all of the buttons without actually entering any of the kind of dangerous parts.
This is a weird thing that happens about 10% of the time where he doesn't fall for my bait. Hopefully it won't happen
Classic
again,
marathon
but,
luck.
he kind of just, his AI breaks and he thinks you don't exist, and then he just camps right where you don't want him to be. That's a grunt this time, so he's driving forward. Nice.
Nice work, Spartans.
Yeah, this is like a good example of like how difficult Legendary is, especially in Reach. Is like even
get
if
melted.
you're one of the best players in the world, and you do like deliberate strats to make things more safe and easy, you will still die very often because it's just that's how brutal the difficulty is. You know, you're dead in a few shots, and there are a lot of enemies to fire lots of shots at you.
This is a cool button. Press covering my house, or you get it from underneath the floor. Which saves quite a lot of time. And we're back in our ghost. Gonna head back to the beginning of the mission now. Yeah, exactly. He's a vet. It's the second major skip of the game, and we're basically going to abuse the game's code and make it check if the hunters are alive or not before the hunters have even been spawned in. Thinks the hunters are dead, and then it opens the door for us. But we will gonna delay a checkpoint here by punching, and I'm gonna take my wings off to make my ghost more easily and wipe my hands from sweat. I want the checkpoint right before I do the trick. I'm gonna shoot, punch, melee to delay the checkpoint. And then we have it right here. Another thing that checkpoints do is make all the enemies unsplatterable, which also means they'll get in my way. One thing actually. My bad. I'll bring this up over the top. Oops. Bear with me. Was the chalk bag? That's a good idea for marathon runs, actually. Like, unironically. Alright, let's do that. Okay, so I'm also negating the game's ability to give me a checkpoint by putting this checkpoint here, as well as it being a good place for a checkpoint. Okay, this should be fine. Oh, this was scary. Hopefully I didn't hit the spawn trigger. I don't need to pause and check. I'm gonna have to play this safe. I might have soft locked there, so... Okay, this time I definitely didn't hit spawn trigger. But I was like scared.
The idea here is that you get your ghost over these barricades, which are not intended to be gotten over usually, and then you fly through the trigger, and then you're able to just zoom all the way through and get to the elevator. Usually,
thanks for the follow the Ionator.
Hunters are like the big kind of like semi-bosses in this game. On Legendary especially, they take a absolute shit ton of ammunition and damage to kill. So skipping them at any opportunity is always going to be a huge time save.
Ah! Holy god, this game! Alright, we're good.
Oh my god.
Alright, now we've got a concussion rifle. Really good premier. That was the weirdest reaction. Really good. I wanted to scream. Item. Really good. So much louder. Speed tech. Hold up. Really good. Really good. Premier not going back. Speed tech item. Really good. Really good. Really good. Premier speed tech item. It's just not going back further. God damn it. I wanted to scream like 10 times as loud.
Dangerous part.
Breaks.
This is like a good...
But I like toned it down. Shoot, punch, melee to delay the checkpoint. In my way. Okay, this should be fine. Interesting. I did off lock this.
And get to the elevator. Usually you would have to fight those hunters. Hunters
I want to see this again.
The big kind of like semi-bosses in this game. On Legendary especially, they take a absolute shit ton of ammunition and damage.
This guy never comes out this slow.
Skipping them at any opportunity is always going to be a huge time save.
And that's why Ah! Holy god, this game! Alright, we're good.
Oh my god.
Alright, now we've got a concussion rifle. Really good premier speed tech item in the speedrun. We're going to use it to launch ourselves and skip this whole room, hopefully. Nice, we've done it. And we're at the top now. We're going to grab a rocket launcher and make use of a cool strat called double rockets, which I'll let Ben explain.
Yeah, so you're intended to fight your way up here, and then the way you hit the end trigger of the level is by destroying like all the banshees and the phantoms and everything and killing all the elites here.
Then Wingman's right. The nade sandwich, or as I like to call it, being stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Just basically clearing out the zone with the rockets. Usually, once you lock on, you then have to sort of wait for a few seconds to relock onto your next target. But as you'll see Too Easy doing, what you can do is if you get a lock onto a target, shoot, and then immediately flick onto another enemy, you can actually keep that lock on for the second enemy as well. So you don't have to wait to relock on each time. You can sort of kill them twice as fast.
Nice, good Oni. I'm also really scared of dying to flying Banshee wreckage. Happens to me a lot.
And that was clean.
Can't believe that Oni was so fast, despite all the time loss. Alright, time for...
Now,
it could have been like a 520.
You say Winter Contingency is the most broken level, but like in terms of like time save, this is up there, right?
Yes. It's just that we kind of forget, because this level has the oldest skip in Halo Reach speedrunning history, which a lot of people might know about. It's the one with the forklift. Don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it skips a lot of combat.
Yeah, they made the mistake of making most of the first half of this mission optional, so you can run through it just, you know, without any sort of glitches. And then, unfortunately, they left a big glitch in that skips the entire second half, so it means that the entire level is basically you just run through in a couple of minutes.
Apart from this part, which is the scariest part, I'm going to do a thing where I intentionally teleport my ally right in front of these enemies by looking at a certain direction, since the game doesn't want to teleport him right in front of me. It's like they don't want us to see him teleporting. And I'm through first try, which is really good.
Right.
This area is also pretty scary. There's a lot of gooters and grunts. But I have a checkpoint, and if I just be nice and quiet, they should focus on each other. A nice little melee boost there for time save. Leave me alone, please. Yeah, huge. And you'll also notice I'm doing slide jumps, which are when I fall onto a slope and then jump at the right time, I transfer a lot of that downward momentum into forwards momentum. You saw me get a big one earlier, and there's another big one there.
And also grenade jumps, you saw them at the start of the level. Very similar to the concussion rifle. If you jump,
I was so happy to get that
after
slide.
a grenade explodes below you, it would actually
The
give you a
pump slide.
boost upwards. So
See
it's
my
at the
face.
start of the level. Very similar to the concussion rifle. If you jump at the right time after a grenade explodes below you, it would actually give you a boost upwards.
Yeah.
So it's a huge staple in Halo speedrunning, is using grenades to sort of blast yourself higher into the sky, so you can gain access to, you know, either like out of bounds places or places earlier than intended and things like that. Just gonna make sure you have enough health.
Yeah, I'm getting some good slide jumps in this mission so far. It's good. But I'm quite
so that
low in health.
entire section, yeah, a bit low on health. That entire section just there was a part where you sort of had the option to deal with an entire like side objective where you like save a bunch of people and have a huge firefight. But as you saw Too Easy do, like, it's not even a glitch, you can just run right past it, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, they're all dead now. Okay, like, it doesn't matter, you don't fail the mission, so you can just keep going.
Developer intended.
Yep.
So now we're gonna punch this dude in the back and be nice and sneaky and hop on this forklift and save like 10 minutes now. I don't know how long it would take to do this entire wave fight and then have to fight through the end section where there are like a billion enemies in between you and the ending. But if I do the forklift skip and glitch Like through a the middle of billion the gate, enemies. There's no enemies there. I think that's about right.
Yeah, nobody knows how much time it saves because nobody does it the intended way, because that is so easy to do and it skips the entire level. So
I've done
there's a lot of time.
done like a John Wick % run where you kill every enemy. Took me a long time.
Yeah,
I don't know how
can
long it
imagine.
took.
Yeah, that glitch is tenfold because not only does it let you skip like all the way through to the end of the level, but usually when you get to this section, like when the door opens the intended way, there is a huge fight that you've got to get through, and it is like so difficult that it's like impossible to run through.
Yeah, there's
So
like no
the
ammo
fact that you
either.
can run through this whole thing is ridiculous.
Time for my favorite mission. I hope I do it justice. So this is really fast and action-packed.
Yeah, still.
First, what I have to do is get myself a vehicle by killing the anti-air. So all I need to go for is these 2 anti-air turrets, which I've taken out. Now I need to hide and wait for my vehicle to come drop, and then I'm away to the first objective of the mission. which I believe this is how the mission goes in the canon as well. It's just, don't worry about what you don't have to worry about. Get straight to the objective, because big things are happening. I need to take out the anti-air guns that are helping the Covenant win the battle below. It's like a cool battle going on below as well, in the skybox. So this is the most dangerous part of the mission. I'll let did I die here? Explain what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, so here you have a Warhog, which is like just a standard sort of driving vehicle, and you need to drive along and take out these huge anti-air turrets. So there's a bunch of problems with this. The first problem is that the guy on the back has a rocket launcher, and he can just sometimes nuke you, depending on where you drive. Too Easy will take like a deliberate driving route to do it. And then you've got to jump in and actually destroy the anti-air from the inside. You can do it from the outside, but it's a lot trickier. And obviously doing that, just kind of throwing yourself in at the deep end on Legendary is, you know, very awful. And then he needs to grab a ghost and deal with another ghost, which, as you saw on his sword base, can be very tricky. And then he's going to do another strat here where a bridge is usually dropped after, I don't know, around 30 seconds or so from where he is.
Yeah.
But instead of waiting for it to be dropped, he flings his ghost right across, and at the right angle he can get all the way across and skip waiting for the bridge. So it's like 4 or 5 tricky sections back to back, and if any of them go wrong, it can be bad.
And we saw a little bit of Bungie physics there. When you flip a ghost, this doesn't always flip well. Also, I just flipped my ghost, not well, but
Speaking of
cursed myself. Yeah. Ghosts are weird. Okay, I can't drive. Somebody take my license away. I am riding along a wall, you know, sideways, but I'm doing this so that I can try and land on top of this stack of platforms here. Yo, what's up, Joan? And then get a checkpoint, hopefully. Grenade jump off it onto the roof. And skip this entire facility, as long as I don't get shot to death. Punched in the back by that elite. I'll just nade the floor, scare him away. And now I'm through the entire facility. With only a little bit of time loss. That's my favorite part of the run.
Yeah, it's very cool.
If only I got the ghost stuff. Let's try as well.
There's a mandatory objective here which you skip, and there's also an optional one where you can take out a Zealot, is it? I think.
I'm having fun.
Do they talk about?
I'm having so much fun.
That one you can just go past if you want to, but yeah, that fight you would usually, especially on Legendary, you would have to do regardless.
I love this category,
This is an example of taking out the AA guns from the outside. You don't have to go inside and nuke like the core, although it's usually quite a bit faster. What you can do is you can just sit outside and like rocket or machine gun them from the outside with a Warhog. The reason why this second one is a lot trickier to do from the inside is because if you get close, there is a bunch of drones that come out, which are absolutely awful to deal with.
It's like an ambush.
There's so much damage, and they're like little insects.
I think you mean like it's usually mandatory,
and they're like impossible to kill.
Unfortunately, like my Wraith that I was about to hijack.
No, actually, maybe he meant
optional,
or not mandatory.
We also do a manip that helps it not drive off the edge, but it didn't work, so
it's like 3 AM.
I have to do a backup strat here where I kill the hunters using the Revenant, which is quite scary, but I'm killing all the things that can mess with me while I do that safely from afar. And I'm gonna back off and get a checkpoint.
Not getting a Wraith.
And then basically go Rambo.
Everything is hard,
checkpoint.
Yeah. Just regain, you don't run.
Those huge blue vehicles that you see that can
I'm like so happy
fire right in front of
the
you
job
right
that
now.
he did.
And the Revenant is a sort of smaller but still very devastating red vehicle that Too Easy is driving right now. Both of them are extremely deadly, and what you can do if you're ballsy enough, which Too Easy is you can actually ram and splatter the hunters. They don't die instantly, like a lot of enemies do, if you splatter them with a vehicle.
Yeah,
but they still take a lot of damage from the
best thing ever.
So a couple of them will be dead.
My
Honestly,
favorite
the cannon is negligible. Does Oh no, what have I done? I misclicked. That's a costly misclick. My favorite Halo marathon moment is Goat Rope commentating a Kronos first try light skip on Library. And the commentary just being, exactly in time with everything first try, and like it kind of just blew my mind. I've never heard that trick explained before. It was very cool. Right, we're almost back there. Yeah, Gorob's like, for me it was a Tuesday. Like, flip me off the edge. But here for you, it was the coolest thing you'd ever seen in Halo speedrunning. For me, it was Tuesday. Yeah, on Falcon, auto-scroller. We actually skipped this in co-op, which is pretty damn cool. But not viable for solo legendary. Viable for solo easy though. So if you want to see this skipped, check out the solo world record of Tip of the Spear. Unlike Speedsouls, Halo has like a strong tradition of like splitting up the run into segments and speedrunning those, just because it's like an FPS game. So like a lot of people don't actually run the full game a lot of the time. They spend most of their time on small strats, kind of safe. This was scary as fuck. Strats, kind of safe strats, a good mix. It's gonna work? Strats, kind of safe. No, I'm at the edge. Fuck. Oh well.
Yeah, some of the IL strats.
That body could have killed me if he was a little bit closer. Oh yeah. We got strats that took people 6 months to just hit one run of, like, to get the world record.
Stay sharp, 6. We're not out of the canyon yet.
That's awesome. Go. Alright.
Thankfully, this auto-scroller bit isn't too long. All you're doing is flying into this sort of like big force field, and it takes down. Takes down the Falcon. You do a little cheeky crash landing.
Very smart, you know.
And then yeah, it's flinging yourself into danger like a Spartan would do. Yeah. And the only objective left for this level, nice and easy, is just to run all the way through this section. You know, in typical Halo Reach Legendary fashion, just sprint your way through, and take out a bunch of guys at the top of a tower, and then hit a button.
No, unfortunately. So they've spotted me. It's going to be a little bit scary. You generally want to try get through here without being spotted, but makes them really hard to learn. But I mean, that's most games, I guess. Most like open world RPG speedruns. I can hear him shooting at my teammate, the sniper, so I'm going to assume he's not going to be shooting at me. Oh, nope. Alright, with some little juking movement there, we dodge him. Just a little bit of sideways movement. Yeah, they have save files and a save file manager. So you have to go through and make your save files. And then also routes change so often that you have to go through and make new save files. So it's like, but it's nothing compared to actually the time it takes to do a run. So. But like if one little routing changes where you're going to be a little different level at a boss fight with a different like stat or like build or stuff like that, then you have to go redo all your save files. Right before I know he's going to shoot, and then he shoots to the side of me. Very conveniently placed vehicle for me to get straight into the tower. And now we're going to go matrix mode and try and kill all the enemies in this tower before they get a chance to fight back. There's like 5 grunts and a ultra elite, and 2 of the grunts have like big heavy weapons. So what I'm going to do is go straight for the elite, get the back smack, nade the grunts, turn around and grab this guy's rocket launcher, and then blow them all up, and then we're good.
Yeah, that is a very quick sequence. If any of that goes in the wrong order, you are dead, because like the amount of weaponry that those guys have is crazy.
And come on, guys, you know that it's not impressive. That's how it goes every time. But they don't know. This is the weirdest mission in Halo Reach. It's very unique. A lot of Halo speedrunners don't like it because it's just so different to anything else in the whole series. But I think it's pretty cool and unique, and it makes Halo Reach a little bit different than the other games, you know? So first thing we need to do is get to the spacecraft. So we're going to grab a plasma pistol. And we're going to do a skip similar to the Hunter skip on the second mission, only sword-based. Well, I'm going to kill an elite here and make the game think that the beach is empty. And it'll open the door for me, as long as I kill it before this dropship can drop its troops. So I'm going to try and kill this guy through his drop pod. Got him.
And now the game says, is there anyone on the beach? Nope, doesn't look like anyone on the beach to me. And it opens the door for us. Despite the fact that the dropship just opens to troops just after it checks.
Yeah,
And
that
it
is
also,
much harder than it looks. He's made that look really easy, but that is not easy at all.
yeah, so
Too
you have to
easy,
get your EMP shot through the drop pod before it opens, because once the drop pod opens, it becomes a solid object and will block your shots. So you gotta line it up, time it through. It's a random drop, by the way, so you don't know when it's gonna drop. You have to react to the audio cue. Got the correct weapons, let's go. Yeah, you have to react to the audio cue, you get your first EMP through the pod, and then your first magnum shot through the pod as well, and then I waited for the pod to pop off, and then I shot him another time and took him out. Also, that gun, you'll know if you've played the game, but that magnum is so horribly inaccurate to play with. Also, I just want to demonstrate something. This is how fast I can look around on my saber. By default, if I change it, my FPS setting to the highest possible, all of a sudden, I can do this. So, this is a little bit pay to win, because it depends on how fast your computer is. But this is fast enough for me to go. And it'll save me a lot of time.
Too Easy also saves several minutes there just by playing on the correct version of the game. So on the original Xbox 360 release of Reach, that entire cutscene segment where you get put into the ship and everything is actually unskippable. And it's quite long. It's way longer than you probably remember, especially when you're doing speedrun. But he's playing on the Master Chief Collection, which is like the sort of re-release of all of the older games onto newer consoles and PC. And they made it skippable. Thank God.
Thank goodness. Thank you, 343.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna line up, try and spawn kill all these Banshees. I was a little bit too close to them. Hopefully this works out. A little bit sloppy.
Yeah, saying it was pay to win got the chat going.
And wave 3 is coming up, and this is essentially the hardest part of the run to survive on Legendary.
Yeah, Ben's an OG, he remembers back in the days when you couldn't skip the cutscene. So that's what came to mind for him.
You can be okay.
Yeah, there are two types of enemies that Too Easy is going to fight here. The first ones that you saw are the Banshees. They're very simple to kill. You can just shoot them with your like regular machine gun, and if you lead a couple of shots...
Yeah, I'm going to post this on YouTube
from
the grave, so...
a shield.
Thanks for sticking around for a while, man.
You're intended
Hope you have a good sleep.
Shoot down, like sort of pepper down the shields with your machine gun, and then you have like an alternate firing mode, which is the rocket launchers, which will destroy them as long as their shield is down. But as you can see, you can get lit up very easily. Yeah.
Yeah, so especially on MCC, these guys are a lot more aggressive. All enemies are slightly more aggressive on MCC, but most people only really notice it with the space enemies. Because for some reason they just really didn't. It's just way harder. We're gonna actually harness that aggression though, and use it to our advantage by trying to make them crash. I'm gonna go for the fast strat here once, right at the beginning.
So guys, yo, what's up, Cute, by the way? Yeah, it's quite rare, yeah. So every single practice run that I did the safe strat. You guys would have seen if you were watching me practice the days before. Every single run. But I just didn't have it in me. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't, so I went for the fucking dangerous AL strat.
Because it's fun. I'm gonna try and make them all crash to their deaths. So I want everything to shoot me now. I'm actually driving slow and spinning around. I want everything shooting me. But not shooting me too much, because I don't want to die. And I'm going to hide behind Savannah and hope everything crashes to its death. And I get an instant quota. But then if not, I can just clean up the rest of them. Go find the ones that didn't crash down here. Try and stay relatively safe, because I really don't want to die. And you will get instantly melted here.
Big part of the pay to win, as well as you see Too Easy doing, is when you want to dodge. One of the best things you can do to stay alive if you're ever struggling with this mission on Legendary on MCC is just boost your FPS as high as it will go and just flick your mouse like a crazy person, because you can just become Neo just by constantly flicking your mouse around and dodging about.
So now I've spawned in the final wave. All I need to do is kill these phantoms. But I also want to do it before the reinforcements arrive, which are going to come soon, and then they will start lighting me up. Alright, we've done it.
Latest. I lost
Actually,
like
these
so
waves
much
have
time
massive random sleep timers on them, so that one came in very late, which is safe but also slow because now they're going to take longer to fly away. But yeah, I just need to kill whoever's coming last in the race, and then we are good. This is a good start to the hardest. I think that's the slowest I've ever seen, because there were three phantoms alive already when I started shooting, and then they didn't spawn until like ages after I'd already killed all the phantoms. Level of the run, so pretty happy with this.
Yeah, this marks the end of the sort of ship combat section. The rest of the level
one
is
little bit.
done. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, there's
But
the
it's
one
not
bit
as
where you're gonna
dangerous.
take out the engines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm out here.
So this part, I'm just mostly going to be hiding the entire time. First, I want to take out the engines. Do a little skip here, where if we kill the engines before they tell us to kill the engines, then they will never tell us to kill the engines, and we skip a whole dialogue sequence and spawn in the last wave of enemies quicker, which is really good for us.
Yeah, Too Easy also goes underneath the ship because there are a bunch of enemies sort of stored away there for a rainy day, waiting to come out and ambush you. But if you know where they are, you can just go underneath and just blow them all up. There's like 12 or 13 enemies there.
I think that's so risky. I didn't have a checkpoint here.
Spawn camp them.
Yeah, it's really good because they're banshees, and your allies
Didn't
will
wait for a
basically
checkpoint here before
never
going up
hit
again
the
with
banshees. They'll just
76.
waste their bullets on them, so it's important to get them killed early. I really want a checkpoint here, actually. I'm playing way too dangerous.
Finally realized that if I die, I lose like
checkpoint.
a minute.
So now I'm going to just hide behind Savannah. I'm going to try and coax them over towards me, and hope that they either crash into Savannah and die, or just get shot. And here they come. So it's classic, like, shoot me, but don't shoot me too much. But don't shoot me not enough either. And you get to complain to the game if you get shot too much, and if you get shot not enough. There's only two
Savannah
enemies
shooting
left.
too much or not enough as well.
Yeah. Nice, we're good. It's a good clear time.
7:25
Now I just
maybe.
need to park safely, and we will be finished with the saber section.
Must have bled a lot of
Goodness,
time.
everything went well. It's a
After
really hard
this.
part of the run.
But it's not over yet. The rest of this mission is not a cakewalk either. There's a lot of very difficult rooms and a lot of tricky fights.
This is, yeah, by far the longest mission in the run. Now we're going to use that sword we brought earlier to try and kill all these dudes before they absolutely melt me. Try to kill this dude before he jumps up, or we can go up with him. Snipe this guy. We wasted some ammo on him that I don't want to waste. My boys finished him off, that's pretty cool. I want to kill this
As long
dude
as
as he's
you're
coming down. Yeah, there we go. Oh, a little bit early. I blame the stutter. Okay. I'm going to change my FPS down so my game stops stuttering now that I don't need the extra. Now I'm not flying the saber anymore. And I'm going to do a little thing here that I, what's the word? Encouraged runners start doing, which is arming up your Marines with better weapons, because they actually have a 100% damage penalty with their own gun. So as soon as you take away their own gun from them and give them a Covenant weapon, alien gun, they start tearing shit up. It's really awesome. This guy's
Yeah,
hiding.
it's sort of twofold as well because in general the sort of like rule in Halo is that the Covenant weapons are extremely good at taking down shields of enemies, whereas the UNSC weapons, which are like the good guys, the Marines, they're really good at taking down health. So it also works in your favor as well because the Marines, now they don't have that damage penalty, can also just wipe shields of enemies for you.
Yeah, it's
That's my first contribution to the Halo Reach speedrun. Yeah,
they
so
have actual useful weapons, and they
It's
hide up
really
there
good on
and
easy
they
and
flank
ledge.
as well.
for this level.
I'm gonna try and kill the enemies with a sniper.
The
I've got
first
one
enemy
bullet
that Too
left.
Easy took out was what they call an engineer. And they sort of just float, and they're not super dangerous to you, but they actually buff all of the enemies in the...
This is actually another good reason why like, I just feel like speedrunners would just be so more likely to just forget to mention what an engineer is. I don't even fucking remember that there's an engineer in this room because I just kill it and don't think about it. You know what I mean? It's like, but yes, I kill it for a reason because it's such a big deal. You know, it's good to have a little, like, someone who just doesn't take these little things for granted. You know.
First people you want to take out because otherwise you're just wasting ammo.
Yeah, they give overshields to everyone close to them. Big problem. Yeah, and other Halo speedruns, they just kill Limerines. We actually use ours to help. I'm going to drop that there for later. Yeah, they actually are half decent. I need this guy's plasma pistol to new combo these elites. Alright, that was an interesting series of events.
Nice little armor lock.
Yeah. He just ran straight at me so fast.
The
It was so
combo
unexpected.
that Too Easy is talking to is another staple of Halo. It's been, you know, a thing since day one. And basically the idea is that you use a plasma pistol overcharge to immediately knock out the shield of an enemy, the same way you would take out a vehicle, as we talked about earlier. And then you can use any precision weapon, so a DMR, a needle rifle that Too Easy has, a pistol, anything like that, and just one bullet to the head will take out any elites, as long as their shield is down.
For sure, Wingman. Now this is a pretty hard, quote-unquote, boss fight in this room. I didn't do that as much in this run because I feel like I'm doing it for other speedrunners. So I just didn't talk about the story or lore at all, like I did at my other 2 marathon runs. And the configuration of the enemies is very random. We got a Bob, which is incredibly unlucky. It's like a bonus unit that can be here. But luckily we only got 1 grunt here. So as long as this guy doesn't turn around and spot us, the general, we should be okay to do stealthy strats. Looks like he's going over there. Gotta wait for this guy to walk. Come on. Try get a checkpoint, and then I can do a cool little... Oh, no, they spotted me. Didn't get to do the double easy with cheese. I was in shambles. That would have looked so fucking cool.
Yeah, this room
is
very difficult. It can go very wrong.
There's an invisible guy with a sword somewhere. Too nervous to punch him. I wanted to punch him to look cool. Like, genuinely was going through my mind, but I pussied out. Especially because it's a hard clear. And I was lucky to get this first try. Did I really lose health to his backpack exploding? I actually lost 25% of my health because of that. Excellent. Yeah, if things are going well, like they did for most of this run, there is like hardly any time.
What you saw there is a very annoying mechanic where if a grunt gets scared, like for example if their like elite counterpart gets taken out, they will just grab 2 grenades, set them off, and then just run towards you, like in order to, you know, sort of kamikaze you. And sometimes that can be a real pain in the ass because they will just like block your way and just suicide into you. It's very annoying.
Now we have to clear this room full of enemies ASAP to start a big wave fight where enemies will be coming at me from basically every door, and I'll have to do my best to kind of get to the door in time and spawn kill them. And I've started the timer now, so I need to get geared up for that. Try to get a good plasma pistol. There we go. Made it to the first door in time. Every door's actually got a random timer on it as well, which can lose you time, but can also make it safer. It gives you more time to set up. Okay, ready now. Oops, he dodged.
Yeah, all it takes is one enemy
bar
to sort
red.
of completely take like you off sequence here. So.
Yeah. Backsmack 2 dudes here, scaring them. Line up a really cool EMP here, cross the map.
This is a very cool trick.
Nice. Shout out to Seclusive. Didn't look clean because of the failed backsmack. Oh, this was funny. Okay.
God damn. It's chaos down there with George. Bless him.
Yeah. Alright. He made up for it by baiting the elite into him. So that's a good long night of solace for a marathon. We got through without any deaths, I think, right? Oh, just the one death, I think. Got slapped in the face by an elite.
Yeah, not bad at all. Could go a lot worse.
If you thought that was a lot of combat and explosions, this mission has even more combat. This is the most combat heavy level in the whole run. So hopefully... And also, this level lacks checkpoints majorly, so it's possible to get reverted entire minutes if the game just decides to not give you checkpoints. So I'm praying that it will deliver me the checkpoints that I deserve. I feel like I have a pattern where before any like stressful or hard part, I always like explain like that it's gonna go really well, and then it goes really well. Like before Tots, before Hunter Skip, before Door Skip, and before Exodus. Like, and I think that helps my mentality. I'm gonna make use of a cool mechanic here, where if I jump into the sky or stand on a rail or something, these grunts can't find a path to me, and as they're holding explosives, they decide that the best course of action is to just give up. So I'm going to be jumping on rails, jumping over holes in the ground, and trying to manip them into exploding.
Yeah, this is a very annoying section otherwise, because it's just every single grunt will just try and blow you up, as you can see.
There they go. Everything's dead. I can go collect all the ammo and grenades that I need for the next section. Oh, thank goodness. We got at least one grenade. I'm gonna hope I don't get shot.
This is one of the rare times that the Needler is very useful here, because we're introduced to Brutes, and Brutes get absolutely pummeled by the Needler. Like, you can shoot like half a clip into them, and it just insta-kills them, even on Legendary.
Yeah, they've got such a high HP pool that it's kind of really hard to kill them with other means. Also, we're going to lose. I say after nading and getting meleeing a guy like 4 times and he's still alive. We have to play this next section quite safe, even though it's inherently very unsafe. I'm going to try rush up to the staircase and try and spawn kill everything with grenades and needles. But if they armor lock like they are, it can get extremely dicey. Try and use this very limited cover to survive. There's one more guy to deal with.
Can be shot through.
Alright. I don't think so, no. An EMP. Okay. Well, there's a fell chav in me. It's a disaster if I die here. I'm gonna play this so safe. One more dude.
Yeah, something I forgot to mention is that any enemy that has a plasma pistol can also shoot an overcharge at you, which will immediately just take off your shields. Or if you don't have any shields, it will kill you instantly on Legendary. So
additionally,
that can be very annoying.
When they release an overcharge, it doesn't overheat their gun, and they can decide to just shoot you straight after releasing the overcharge, meaning that all their bullets and the overcharge will hit you at the same time. So any weapon, any enemy holding a little green gun can just decide to insta-kill you from 100 to 0 if they want to. Bam, dead. And there's nothing we can do about it. It just happens sometimes.
You can't do that because they're cheating.
They literally are cheating. Now I'm going to kill these 2 waves of enemies. This one drops first, so I'm going from up here first. That nade almost killed me. That was painful. I'm going to get this one hiding enemy by curving them up, and I'm going to try and catch these dudes before they get close. Run up where I can't shoot them. It's all scary. Nice. Now I need to clean up these 3. And I did a cheeky little thing earlier where I pressed a button to hide until, bam, I teleport into the elevator. Because I pressed this button through a wall earlier. And I'm all stocked up.
I bet you didn't even notice.
I've got grenades, I've got a hammer. Those are the important things that I needed to grab. Wish I had time to grab health, but that one brute was preventing me. It's running interference.
Oh. Guns are more important, you don't need health.
Yeah. I grab the rockets off this ODST. And these ODSTs show off their jetpacking skills. 99% of the time they just jump off the edge and die.
Or they block you, whichever one comes first.
Hopefully I don't do the same, because I've definitely been known to do that on my speedruns. Usually when I'm on extremely good pace.
Yeah, so this is the first time you kind of switch away from one of the like armor abilities. You've seen the enemies use like armor lock quite a lot, that's another one. But Hiller Reach was like the first one to actually implement sprinting as an armor ability. And you can switch it out to like the jetpack or the armor lock, or there's like a bubble shield, a hologram that like will, you know, bait for you and things like that. Obviously in the speedrun, sprinting is like 100%.
Fuck, I should use the hologram strat on, what's it called? Statue jump, because it looks really cool. And you actually get to use hologram in the run.
The best move most of the time. So we're like almost at the end of the game. We've only got a couple of missions left, and this is the first time that you see any other armor abilities.
Yeah,
this jetpack is very useful
sprint.
because it allows you to, yeah, instead of sprinting through, you can just jetpack around the map and just sort of parkour your way past all these guys.
We do a cool little thing here where if we stick a Phantom anywhere with a grenade, it blows off the side turrets, allowing us to, instead of having to wait for it to fly away, we can go straight up to this platform. We don't get sniped out of midair, hopefully. Nice. And we can begin this fight way earlier. And use rockets to blow up all the fodder. I'm gonna try to get a checkpoint. And there are a lot of enemies in this room. This is our ONS, basically. This is the hardest boss fight of the game.
LeBron would be proud with that stick. Unreal throw.
This guy blindsided me. Fucking surprised me. Okay, now I gotta kill the big boss dude.
This guy is very scary.
We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Big gun. We got him.
Oh no, I wasn't reloaded. Kobe. Alright. Come on. Look at me. Alright, we've done it. That was a good fight, let's go.
Yeah, not bad.
Usually get just insta-killed a couple times during that fight.
Every time I play Reach multiplayer, I die multiple times to some guy using
keep saying
hologram.
not bad as though I could do any better. That was awesome. Good job.
Thank you.
I'm like, yeah, it could have been better. Meanwhile, I'm like taking like 30 minutes longer than you to do this.
It's because you actually watch Halo Reach speedruns, so you know what's actually good.
Yeah, true.
But that was pretty good. Alright, now this is the scary part. I have to sit on this auto-scroller while there are enemies all around me, shooting me, and if they just decide to shoot me from behind and blow me up, and make me lose entire minutes of my speedrun, they're gonna do that. So, we're on prey. There are some things I can do to mitigate it. Hopefully I can.
One day someone's gonna just lose a long time.
Probably a good time to talk about law.
To
We haven't touched on the law at all so far.
everyone dies.
Yeah, that's basically
That's the gist of the auto-scroller. So fun fact, 1% is the estimate of civilians that survived this this battle of the planet.
Yeah, Halo Reach's story is very sad.
Very bleak.
We met up with George in the last level. He's now gone because he sacrificed himself for the last mission. And then these last few missions coming up, just like the demise of Noble Team, which is your group that are sent on these sort of suicide missions, which is very sad.
Most of them die in cutscenes, which we'll unfortunately be skipping. But I just wanted to do that so that it wouldn't spoil the game for you guys. So.
Yeah, you're welcome. Go play this game. It's great.
So here's where we can die, and there's nothing we can do about it. Also, we don't know if the game decided to give me checkpoints or not. I can't remember a checkpoint in the last 2 or 3 minutes, so...
I haven't seen one in a while.
Yeah, I don't think I got one for the entire fight or after the fight. I had one during the fight. I just didn't didn't know that I got it. But we seem to have made it through the scariest part. I can die to these guys, so I want them dead. It's just can be hard to hit the shots, but I've hit them all luckily. It's weird travel time on this turret. Alright. Now, there's a myth Doomsday Prophet, a Halo Reach runner who's good enough to kill this grunt on the Wraith. We don't even speak his name, it's too taboo, but apparently there's a guard there who can do it 100% of the time. I've never done it in my life, so... Also, first checkpoint in a couple minutes, let's go.
Nice.
I like how actually Hammond got it, that guy in the Wraith, a couple hours after I said this. I try every time, I never have. We're gonna have to kill him later, or he will shred us. Posted it on Reach chat.
Yeah, the final part of this mission is very similar to previous levels, where it's as simple as hitting a couple of buttons and then heading to a different point and then hitting a button. So there is a huge firefight here, and it is very scary. But if you're good enough, you can sort of speed your way through. And the Warhog certainly helps with that.
Yep. So we've got 3 buttons. We're gonna try and press them without getting shot to death, or melee or bombed from afar by the 2 tanks that are going to be shooting at me throughout the whole thing.
That's the first missile battery, Lieutenant. Get it on.
Take out that gunner. Whoops, I missed.
First battery is online.
There's a checkpoint. No checkpoint for me. Try get one here.
I gotta get airborne. Easy 7
Nope.
Echo 3. Spartan's gonna clear the skies.
Something pushed my hog, but we should be okay as long as I can get to my safe place.
Yeah, when you end up jetpacking to those sections up top, even if you don't kill the enemies, it can be very beneficial to shoot explosives for the sake of it, because it can make the enemies dive, which means that they won't be attacking you if they're too busy dodging the explosives.
Let's try exit speech. This is nice.
Sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
Alright, now we're on to RNG Hellfest, that is New Alexandria. This mission has 3 main objectives in a random order, as well as 2 side objectives in between them, and there's a possible of 12 side objectives that you can get. And also the start of the mission is random as well, because you may or may not get Banshees.
Here it comes, Pepe Love!
No. So, ideally I wanted Hospital first. I'm gonna have to hijack a Banshee later in the mission now. It's gonna be really scary and hard. So. And I also now have a chance to get Hospital last, which is even worse. I don't remember hijacking a Banshee on this level. It's like burned from my brain. That's how under stress I was during this level. Like I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, the layout of this mission is very luck based, because as Tweezy said, you start off with a main objective, but the main objective is random out of 3. You can get the nightclub, the hospital, and the whatever this building is called, Synovia, I think it's called,
yeah.
something like that. Yep. And it's completely random, there's nothing you can do about it. And then once you've completed the first main objective, you then get a random side objective to complete, and then once you completed that, you get one of the remaining 2 random main objectives, then a random side objective, then the final main objective. So the difference between like a perfect New Alexandria versus the worst luck New Alexandria is a lot. Like, it's crazy the amount of time you can lose even if you play at your best.
Foreboding. Yeah, this also has infinite time loss, because some objectives are essentially so slow that we just have to restart straight away and not even bother trying. And you can roll that objective over and over and over and over. So. More foreboding.
Yeah, fortunately the objectives themselves aren't particularly difficult. Like, as you see there,
more foreboding.
As simple as flying in.
Ben cursed me so hard, actually.
Out before the drones ambush you too hard.
Yeah, exactly.
The club is quick.
We don't have any Marines.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get a skip here. Hopefully I get it. Please. Okay, it doesn't look like we got it, so...
Oh my
Good
God.
work, 6! Please don't die, please don't die! We got the skip, boys! Oh no! Alright, well, that's an extremely rare skip. But we died.
The game giveth, and the game taketh away.
Yep. It's only the second time I've ever gotten that, by the way. So now I need to scout out to find the objective that spawned. Sorry. And it's one that we just have to revert. I can kind of get
Genuinely.
different objectives by pressing different buttons right as the load hits. So happy.
Yeah, there's two, as you mentioned before, there's a lot of different side objectives, and some of them can be extremely long. There are some where
Wanna
you
skip
just need to
objective?
nuke
I was a
them.
little bit busy.
There are some where you need to save your marines, but you can just nuke the marines instead. There's some where you need to do a bit
Getting
of both.
bucked.
There are some where you need to escort falcons.
Having
all
a
the way
different
across the map.
timeline. Yeah, it's not canon to this run.
There's
Go.
a huge variety of things that are all different in terms of how annoying they are.
This
Some
is
are
kind
just
of
not worth your time at all.
a slow but safe objective. You just have to kill everything. The bad thing is it's very far away. To be fair, Goat Rope, the skip explanation is basically just what you see. You shoot the phantom, you get the skip. From where we want to go next, which is to the hospital, it's like on the complete other side of the map. So I'm gonna hope that I get a checkpoint right after clearing this.
Feedback clear. Well done, Spartan.
And now I can roll for hospital. It's just a 50-50 whether I get it, but I also have to hit a hijack on these Banshees.
Yeah, the hospital has a really cool strat, but it requires hijacking a Banshee in midair, which is very tricky to do and very dangerous
Yeah.
and legendary.
One
But
of
it
the
saves
hardest
a ton of
traps in the
time,
run.
so it's worth going for multiple times.
Oh,
Ben
am I
was
gonna
like,
live? Ben set me up perfectly to spend like 2 minutes trying to hit this. He's like, yeah, it's worth going for, guys, don't worry. Like, even if I get like fifth try. Okay, we got hospital. We're gonna do a little abuse here called slinky flipping. Because when you flip, your Banshee kind of looks like a slinky. Also, the guy who discovered it is named Slinky. It is faster than boosting in a straight line, as you can kind of see. And it just got me out of a really... Needs to be said, not that Slinky, Goat Rope. Not that Slinky. Not that Slinky. Tight spot where I probably would have died if I missed those Slinky flips. I was like on 0 health, right next to a bunch of Banshees. And as you can see, I'm losing quite a bit of time, having to fly all the way to the hospital. Because of the randomness of this mission, I never do ILs of it, so I haven't been practicing it much recently. But basically an RNG fest. You just put on some music. So clutch. I hit every slinky flip that was required for me to survive, and then I just literally failed. Like, I can't slinky flip. I failed like 10 in a row, like after I was out of danger. I can roll some dice. I'm gonna
There's
call
only so much
evac.
practice you can do flipping a coin.
So I've got another Falcon coming to pick me up, and I'm going to use it to do a little skip here. Where I fly the Banshee inside the building by taking the wings off. Oh no, that's not good. Okay.
Classic EMP, just completely ruining your momentum there.
Luckily, I'm waiting for my dropship to come anyway, so we don't lose time there. But now I'm going to hop in my Banshee, and the game thinks that because I'm in a vehicle, I'm outside the building, and it's going to deload the building. Which teleports me to the nearest safe place, which happens to be right next to my arriving dropship. Now I'm going to roll for the second objective. It's 1 of 9 because it can't be in the same... I should have explained how that's basically a wrong warp. Oh well. Group as the first objective that I got, which was cat shades. So I'm going to check for the marine objectives, which I can spot early by seeing the... Oh, there we go. We've got Oscar, this is a really good objective. What I want to do is let these snipers kill the marines, because I need to kill the snipers and the marines, but ideally I want the marines dead first. So I'm going to let the snipers do most of the work on the marines. Also, because if I kill those guys in front of my gunners will betray me and it's mission over.
More foreboding. Oh, I'm gonna make sure everyone's dead. Don't see anything on the radar. Kill this dude. Troopers down.
Troopers down.
Nice. Alright.
Nothing.
Oh my goodness. That is not a good sight. No, 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 no. Diagonal flying. Save me. No. Okay. That radar, man. So that is on the radar. Look at the red dots on the radar. Troopers down.
Troopers down.
Nice. Alright.
Nothing.
Oh my goodness. That is not a good sight. No, 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 no. Diagonal flying. Save me. No. Okay. It's fine. So this is just the randomness of NA on display. There were just 100 Banshees right where I needed to be. 100. And I died. Now I have to roll for another objective.
Yeah, the hospital shot itself is like a series of fortunate events all working well together. The reason you can call an evac is because obviously if you lose your Falcon, you'll just be stranded. So at any point you can just press a button and it will come towards you. So it's very fortunate to use it there. Because usually after you hit that button inside of the hospital, you're attacked by a bunch of jetpack elites, which there's like a dozen of them, and it's a huge fight that you need to get back out of, and you need to fight your way all the way back out of the building again. So that teleport is huge, saves a lot of time.
Copy 4-0. Noble 6, you're not far from main Traeger. See what you can do.
And as Tweezy mentioned here, it's very important to be careful with when you're betraying your own teammates. Because if you just start shooting Marines in front of other Marines, eventually they get annoyed at you. Yep. And yeah, they will like basically shoot you on sight. So the problem with that is that it takes quite a long time for them to forgive you. And the mission is basically impossible to complete as long as they're pissed off at you. So it can be a huge time loss if they get too annoyed.
Here it comes. So not good. $1. Now we're getting bucked. Buck's the objective where you just need to reset straight away. It's like a long escort mission. $3 in a row.
Nice.
I can press some different buttons here. Oh, what a wild NA. We got Jammer Skip. We got Oscar, but both of them died shortly after. $4 in a row. This has everything.
This is what you want, though. You got to show it off to the audience how awful this mission is.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I can do this mission fast, but I'm gonna die afterwards and then do it slow, just so you get to see everything.
Just to showcase the
$5
You're welcome.
bucks in a row.
So remember, this is a 1 in, is it 9 right now? 1 in 9 chance?
1 in 3 actually, because there's 3 possible
one
bucks.
1 in 3 because of the group. Yeah.
Although one of the bucks of those 3 is a useful buck that I can take. And did I get it? Not down there. Not down there. I missed the Phantom?
Super late.
I did. Okay, it's fine. It's Alpha again, same one that we failed last time, so I'm gonna hope that the Marines die a little bit better this time. This is a bad way to do this.
7 Charlie 40 to HQ. We've got incoming.
Sorry, Charlie, not Alpha.
Requesting immediate assistance.
Please die.
Noble 6, you're not
Nice.
far from main Traeger. See what
Get
you
my
can do for those troopers.
health.
Nothing you could do, sis.
That counts as 1 kill, so my guys won't betray me. And we're out of here. Now, what haven't we
Look at
done?
my
for
radar.
our objective, so I'm gonna fly. We got the slowest order as well, apart from hospital. But we
Genuinely,
rolled for
like, lucky to not
specifically
die
to not
there,
get the
actually.
slowest order, so I'm still gonna count it as the level screwing me over.
Yeah,
what a
the
level.
nightclub is hopefully pretty quick, but it's a nightclub full of hunters that you have to run past, hit a button and run back out again, so it can be very scary. Judging by how this level has gone so far, I'm not keeping my hopes up.
Just kill these enemies so they don't blow up my Falcon while I'm inside.
Just kill the ones that can throw grenades, I'll leave the others. And yeah, hope I don't get blown up by some hunters here. A checkpoint, just in case. Little slide jump. Haven't seen one of those in a while. I've been in vehicles most of the last couple missions. This guy just turns his back to me, alright? It works for me. Now, this health pack, I'm not going to grab. I lost a Deathless Lasso run, grabbing that health pack. A Deathless Legendary run, grabbing that health pack. Just run past, and we're safe. Oh my goodness. Alright, now we're finally finished the mission. All we have to do is do the final objective. We need to kill 6 AA turrets around the middle of the map. They come on Phantom, so we can just actually blow up the Phantom before it drops off the turrets to save a little bit of time.
Yeah, this is the one part that isn't random, and it's right at the end, the final like minute of the mission.
Yeah, and then there's still like
tries to be consistent.
Banshees all over the map that can be coming from different places, and they can complicate things a lot. So this can still be dangerous, and I do see a lot of red on that mini map, so especially in the direction. Yeah. In the direction of the last. It's not a mini map; it's a radar. Just a little bit. Always call it my mini map. It's because I'm an RTS player. Try kill it from far away. Yeah, there they are. Oh, that's a lot of red. Okay, we've done it. So not the best NA, but it was very informative and educational. So it has that going for it. And I can just blame RNG. It doesn't have any map on it. That's what helps me sleep. It only shows you enemies. It doesn't give you any other information.
There right at the end.
Enemies and allies.
Completely unnecessarily kicking you in the teeth.
Yeah, next game. Oh my god.
Sub 13!
Alright, on to package. This... Okay, not gonna lie guys here. Not gonna lie here guys. I knew I was like already like way overestimate at this point. I clutched the hell out of these last 2 levels. Like, I fucking clutched the hell out of them to only be barely... end up only barely overestimate was incredibly clutch. Is the mission with the most fireworks. It's just going to be explosions everywhere. I'm actually going to try and grind for a good ghost spawn. Okay, not the worst ghost spawn possible. Nice. We're going to try and hijack this and just drive through all these snipers, turrets, and rocket launcher enemies. Luckily, no.
This is very scary, this part.
Alright, no Gandalf here today, so we will pass. And we're not going to use the tank, because tanks are slow. And I'm a speedrunner, so I'm just going to try and drive through everything and pray. Do a little bit of manipulation to make them drive forward. Throw this to kick this guy out of the turret. This is a new Too Easy strat, by the way. I found it by accident, practicing for the relay. Practicing for the marathon run. Alright. Try and tank all these bullets on my armor so that it doesn't damage my shields. And then I can hopefully get a checkpoint right here. Voila! Nice. Because I waited for the ghosts to drive forward, they weren't looking at me and I was able to get a checkpoint. Incredibly cheeky checkpoint. Yeah, it was a slow chat because it's not good time for EU. And most of the Speedsouls community is EU. That I found. I am the master of finding very cheeky checkpoints that cost you a little bit of time, but are very good for legendary speedruns, like for consistency. Now both those AA turrets are dead, and I'm just going to drive to the end. This is where things get incredibly dicey, because there's a bunch of rocket launcher turrets here. I'm going to drive right under them, and hopefully I can make them shoot themselves. Maybe I got the second one to blow itself up. I'm going to hide behind this rock and snipe them if they're still alive. Okay, this one didn't blow itself up either. Now I'm going to hijack this dude. He's AFK, this is kind of good. Alright, we've done it. First try. As long as we don't get killed by these enemies. Nice. Alright, that's an incredibly hard part of the run. Usually die there like 5... Okay guys, I just want to share something funny. I keep doing the exact same thing as myself on the cam. So like earlier on, after a mission, I like immediately, like in real life now, just watching it, I started wiping my hands on my shirt. And then I realized that on cam I was wiping my hands on my shirt the exact same way. And then just then, when I got that checkpoint, I visibly fist pumped 6 times. Just as myself. Alright, we've done it. Fist
First
pump
try.
on the screen.
As long as we don't
It's so
get
funny.
killed by these enemies.
Like, what's
Nice.
fist pump?
Alright,
I
that's
just
an
literally
incredibly
did
hard part of
that.
the run. Usually die there like 5 or 6 times and you're kind of happy. So,
Yeah, that was clean.
it's epic.
Noble team. Falcon group has landed.
Yeah, you're intended to take the Scorpion tank and sort of slowly drive through and, you know, pick off and blow up bits one
Yeah.
by one.
It's actually it's
very
hard
slow.
to survive in a tank. That's how much stuff
Yep.
there is to blow you up.
Yeah, but if you're manly enough, you can just fling yourself through in a ghost, not care about the rest.
Got it. Gates open, boss. 6, get over here.
So here, the barricades that were before made out of concrete are now made out of completely, you know, paper mache or something, and you can just blast them through with the Revenant. So there's no need to flip yourself over at this time.
Coming from the bed. And the
Now, this
garage.
room is completely full of enemies, but I'm gonna sneak my way up through the middle of the room with some cheeky jumps. I'm going to intentionally skip a spawn here until I'm right in front of... Oh no, what the hell? Okay, this is scary. I can nade these guys, hopefully live. Nice. Through. And here comes what we call the hardest trick in the run. Hopefully I can hit it first try.
Yeah, this jump is awful.
If you get shot even once, you're gonna not have enough speed and fail. And there is like 10 elites in this room. As you can see, I got shot more than once.
Yeah, when you get shot, it kills a lot
Oh,
of your
and
sort of
a
forward
bog.
momentum. Very nice.
That's one of those bonus enemies. Luckily, I was ready for him, but
I didn't actually know there was one in this level. That's new to me.
yeah, he's problematic for sure. Like, right between me and where I want to go.
Yeah, there's like a couple of bonus enemies on
Yeah, I didn't
I
explain
think
like
they're legendary only.
if you get shot while you're actually doing the jump versus like you can get shot slightly before the jump and then you can pick up speed again in time. But then it actually makes it worse because you get shot and then you have to like pick up speed and then you're actually more likely to get shot after you get shot. So it kind of like compounds and makes you more likely to... Each time you get shot makes you more likely to miss the jump. And also you lose... you're going to run out of health eventually.
Right, I want to say.
No, they're on both. It's just that on easy
Or is
they
it on-
don't really
okay.
matter.
Yeah. But yeah, essentially in a lot of the missions, there's like random kind of bonus Easter egg enemies that you can fight, and some of them, like the one on this mission, apparently can be very problematic on Legendary because it just spawns right in front of you.
So another jetpack moment here. We're going to try Commandeer Banshee straight away. Not going to wait for Noble Team to recommend it. And then we're going to immediately turn on all these turrets, because these turrets will not only shoot enemies for me, but they will make the waves in this wave fight spawn quicker. I guess Bungie wanted to give you time to set up the turrets, so if they're not set up, it waits and you lose time. But there'll be 3 waves here of 3 phantoms, and I need to essentially blow them up so that I don't have to bother killing the enemies that come out. We've got the worst spawn order, so it's excellent start. Let's go. We want them to blow them up so
see
that
that?
I don't have to bother killing the enemies that come out. We've got the worst spawn order, so it's excellent start. Let's go.
What?
Essentially blow them up so that I
fuck
don't
was
have to bother
that?
killing the enemies that come out. We've got the worst spawn order, so it's
Hold on.
excellent start. Let's go.
It's a grunt. It looked like an elite. I was like, what the fuck? Little salty, yeah. I was salty because I know that I need to go fast to beat estimate, or to not go massively over estimate. We want them to spawn in the order which we want to kill them, but unfortunately, the one we want to kill first here has spawned last.
Yeah, this is basically just a big wave defense of Halsey's lab. But if you have the right amount of weaponry in a Banshee, you can basically turn it into a base offense instead. You can take the fight to them, and it's a lot quicker.
It's a really cool way to put it. So you do deal double damage if you hit the engine. So I'm going to try and make sure all my bullets are hitting the engine. Even also, shout out to Dice. I hope he's proud of me for doing this entire fight with night vision off. The plasma cannon. It's actually... The plasma cannon does most of the DPS, but I'm basically cycling the Banshee bomb on cooldown, and then switching immediately to the plasma cannon for maximum DPS.
Yeah, it looks like those little blue pellets aren't doing a lot of damage, and you would think the big green bomb would do most of it. It's actually the opposite.
All right, we got an incredibly unlucky angle on the enemy. And both of our turrets are down. So I'm down to 25% integrity on my Banshee. It's going to be scary, that's for sure. Have I lost 3 turrets? I've lost 3 turrets as well. This does not bode well. So this what happens when you get the worst spawn order. That needs to be on. That quota? I think I've got time to turn this one on too. Would have had time to turn them both on. Okay, it is quota, but it's just they took so long to spawn because I only had one turret on. So we got an okay order this time. Not amazing, but not terrible either.
Getting close.
This Phantom is special. It drops jetpack elites, so I really want this one dead before anything comes out. So I'm focusing on this one first. That's my pretty rocket damn hard, missed and then came back. Let's go. Alright, I think both me and Seclusive said the first time we ever tried it, we got it. And then, like, every time we've tried it since, we've failed. I've got it. Now I'm going to kill the Phantom that spawned second. Because this one's liable to fly away if it drops off all its enemies. I want to kill this one before it flies away. I also need to be safe from getting shot. Nice. I love the color, man, in this fight. So I've got to strike a balance between my flight path. I want all my bullets to be in the background. It's so pretty. I also want to be not getting shot by the Phantom, not getting shot by enemies, not getting shot by the bloody Banshee, and not hitting kill barriers that are surprisingly high. I'm kind of hugging the wall there to dodge a kill barrier.
Yeah, if you just sort of fly low into those chasms, they assume that you've just, kind of fallen to your death, so it just kills you. Gotta be very careful.
Is that quota? That's quota. Actually got a handy music cue there that tells me the drums start kicking up. Oh, come on. This is such a marathon thing to happen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make use of that guy. I have the option to kill the second Phantom. Yeah, I can do it totally. Usually, it's very hard to kill this one before it flies away because it only drops one group of enemies and then flies away immediately. But I might pull it off. Let's see. Call it Hunter Phantom because it drops hunters and we're incredibly creative with how we name things in this game.
I don't know, I thought the Slinky one was pretty good.
True, true. Everything else is just called Door Skip or Hunter Skip or Gap Jump or, Oh, my favorite one is post-Guta slide. The other day, my friend was like, hey, what's the slide called that's right after the Guta? And I was like, oh, it's called post-Guta slide. Shout out, Wingman.
It makes sense. You don't need any of those, like silly names that don't make any sense.
True, true. Alright, we've killed all three Phantoms. But all those interesting trick names are all after I got here, Wingman. Phantoms, which is really good. As soon as, yeah, there we go, we got the quota. We've only got 2 turrets up, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit for the final Phantom to spawn.
But once it spawns in, the only thing we need to do is blow this one up. Plus, I'm not going to mention tits, ass, what else do we have? Vag or fucked. And we will be finished with the mission in a decent time, it looks like, if we don't die here. Now this should be a free kill, but I tend to die here a lot, actually. Yeah, I'm the only one that has trouble with it.
There's no such thing as a free kill in Halo Legends.
Yeah, true. I've got a checkpoint at least. These hunters being here doesn't help. They're very intimidating.
Yeah, when Too Easy's talking about
got it.
quota, what he essentially means is, in order to progress a lot of the time, you don't have to kill every enemy. You just have to have like a certain amount of enemies remaining, and that's what the quota that he's filling. So once you've filled that quota, you can progress. So in this case, you don't have to kill the hunters because they are the X amount of enemies remaining. So you can continue on with the mission and, in this case, finish it, even though the hunters are still very much alive.
And that's a good package. So here we are onto the last mission of the run. Another one of my favorite missions. It's really cool. The objective of the mission is just the same as the speedruns. Just get to the end as soon as possible. That's all we have to do. You've got a beautiful view of the beginning of the mountain that you know you die under in the first cutscene of the game, and your destination. It's like,
Ted
my
in the
destination
shed,
is where
yeah.
I'm fated to die. Let's go.
Draw the heat.
They're good, but they confuse me because it's like it could be Jack in the shack and Ted on the shed. They're completely interchangeable.
Deliver that pack.
First thing we're gonna do is hopefully not die. Hopefully steal this guy's gun. But no, I missed a slide. That's okay. We'll get it this time surely.
Stay low. Let me draw the heat.
So I need
Yeah,
this
so
concussion rifle.
This will be here. Yeah, it sort of sets the precedent for the rest of the level because the amount of ammo that he has is random, and this concussion rifle basically is
Dude,
like
I don't fucking know.
the
Either.
strat.
Doesn't
machine
matter.
for this mission. So depending on how many bullets you have, is how many.
One of them's
nickel
on the
strat
shed and one of
you
them's
can
in
do.
the
So
shack.
the more the better.
Or in and on the shack and shed.
Yeah, we got the most ammo I've ever gotten, so that's really good.
That's the in or on
We're gonna be
part
able to
that's,
use this thing.
that
Do a
matters.
bunch of cool skips in the mission.
You'll have to ask Dice.
I've also got rockets for added safety, but I'm probably gonna drop them. There's a lot of different ways to progress through this mission, and a lot of different weapon loadouts you can bring. But I'm probably gonna go for the most safe one. But yeah, if you don't get given enough
If I was ahead of estimate, damn right now I would have done rocket conk and not grabbed the extra ammo.
concussion rifle ammo from that dude,
Get the package out.
it will severely gimp your ability to do the skips. This part is just what the dialogue tells you to do. Just drive through, don't fight the scarabs. You're not destructible anyway. So we're actually carrying Cortana on our back. It's the blue light. It's a clone of Cortana.
Oh!
Apparently a lot of
Hey!
people missed that in the story. They didn't know that the package was Cortana.
Yo, what's up, Zoo? I hope good things happen during your speedruns I was watching earlier. We just rewatching my my marathon run yesterday. I did a Halo Reach Legendary run at the Speedsouls Charity Marathon, and it was really fun. And we're just finishing up. Thanks heaps for
Oh,
the
really?
raid.
Yeah, we had a trivia thing about it.
After this, I'm gonna do some more
More
legendary
shout out to the
speedruns.
Halo Reach iceberg.
Speedrunners need to work on their lore more.
Yeah.
No.
Right, now we're gonna hop off
Enemy
and
forces
basically
blocking the road ahead.
skip our way through this whole massive battle by just going on these rooftops. Finally remembered to rocket the Phantom for the first time in my life. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, a lot of these are doable without a concussion rifle, but they're a lot harder. So the concussion rifle just makes it easy. You can just sort of boost your way through.
I picked
So I'm
up
picking
two.
up a needle rifle here. I'll need one
I
for
didn't
later,
notice.
but picking it up here just ensures that I have enough ammo to finish the level. Just in case things go very wrong.
Noble, you've got to.
Yeah.
Now I'm
And
doing
here
a
is a
skip
section that is. Yeah, this section is absolutely brutal if you do it intended, because
Thanks,
there is
LGB.
a trigger
It did
that
go
too
really
easy
well,
just
actually.
skipped, and if you hit that trigger, you are going to go through this cave, and instead of just running through having a jolly old time, you're going to be fighting dozens upon dozens of drones everywhere you go. So as you can see, this cave looks really bare, and it's because you're intended to fight a bunch of drones in here. But if you just boost yourself over that rock right at the start, then you skip that entire trigger, and you can just run on through.
Yeah, this is another section
I
where
can't stress enough how awful this would be to do on Legendary.
so,
you did it in the
there's just
intended
no way to do it fast.
Yeah, it sucks.
You, Noble, and we've begun our launch sequence. Proceed to dry dock. Platform.
Now I'm going to skip most of the enemies in this section by getting into the place you're not supposed to be able to get, but it's here because this whole section's a multiplayer map.
Better be, soldier, because my countdown is no abort.
And now I'm going to go up and dodge all the enemies in the second area. Try to get a checkpoint right before I cross over. Nice. Yeah, I did. Locust, I was there. We were in voice chat and we actually messaged, Sinister
A lot of this
messaged,
map you can sort of parkour over, because as Too Easy said,
and told them that it wasn't going to work. Yeah, here he is. He's in chat now.
it's sort of it's one of those like big team battle slash I forget what other game mode you can play on this map that a lot of people played back in the day. There's big team battle and one other one.
It's a good
It was like
example of
the non-defense one. Yeah.
a lot of the elites in this map are bugged and don't have backs. Like that guy I punched in the back who didn't die.
We got tangos. Roger. Spartans.
Really unfortunate.
Through that structure.
Yeah.
And we're doing
here
a
is
cool
gonna
skip
be
here.
another big trigger skip. Yeah.
Back who didn't die. I mashed the buttons here. I did not press the correct inputs to get this skip. I was like 100% sure I missed it.
Spartans.
Really unfortunate.
Through that structure.
Yeah.
And we're doing
here
a
is
cool
gonna
skip
be
here.
another big trigger skip. Yeah.
They didn't have a commentator. As someone who watched their run, I think that ideally for a race, ideally for a co-op run, you don't need a commentator. But I think just because it was their first run, like at a marathon, I think they could have used a commentator. They probably would have played a lot better if they didn't have to worry about commentary. Not that they didn't play well, like they were only barely overestimate, but yeah. It was still a really fun run to watch. I'm proud of them. So we're gonna skip spawning in the hunters.
You go for it. You go for it.
Ooh, that's okay. I'm gonna try and survive. Alright, nice. So yeah, we're gonna skip the hunters here. They haven't spawned. We just get through this section for free. And also, you might notice those elites didn't do much damage. I promise I'm not cheating. They get bugged. Well, they do the same amount of damage they'll do on easy.
Yeah, even with that, this can still be very scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, those hunters don't spawn, and since you don't spawn, the door never opens. But thankfully, you can just do like a well-timed sort of crouch jump, where you jump and then crouch in midair to sort of fit yourself through the window, smash the window, and then.
It's like another part I would just like never think of explaining, like the fact that the door doesn't actually open and we break through the window. Like it's just so sick in nature. I'm so glad he mentioned it.
Walk inside and touch the back of the door, which then hits the trigger to continue the mission. If you weren't able to do that, you would be forced to fight the hunters, because otherwise you would just soft lock.
This guy. Right, where's my gun?
This guy is completely trolling you.
And he's holding an EMP as well. It's very scary. This guy almost like actually fucking killed me.
You gotta be careful with those sword elites, because
Like I'm lucky he didn't just decide to pull the
it's
trigger
actually
more.
very easy to deal with. All it takes is one mistake. And
Yo, what's
it'll
up, family guy?
insta-kill you.
Come on, there's one more grunt I need to kill. And then I'll be just...
This
using
guy
my gun
trolled me
to
too, man.
scare
This
dude
room
away.
actually bled so much time. For no reason.
Just manip him into not killing me. Alright, I'm all stocked up on needle ammo and grenades. It's very good. This is, sorry, one of the most combat heavy sections of the game, but I'm going to skip most of it by doing a really cool strat.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the flashiest strats in the game.
I should pause. First of all, I'm going to do a concussion rifle jump up to the Mech Cannon, then I'm going to do across the map grenade lineup to kill a bunch of enemies.
Copy, Noble. My Pelican's ready. Clear an LZ. And I'll meet you there.
Hopefully that kills them. You can see it off to the left of the screen now. And got all the brutes that just hopped out of that Phantom. Now I'm going to take out the rest of the enemies. This is what I grabbed all the concussion rifle ammo for. Not concussion rifle ammo, needle rifle ammo. Nice, we got the quota. There are still some enemies alive, but I killed enough enemies to spawn the next wave. I do need to hope that they come out and don't hide, or I will be essentially soft-locked. Try to kill these guys in mid-air.
Getting up to the Mech Cannon here early saves a bunch of time, because as you see, it just takes one shot and you can just completely take out Phantoms without any issue. And you're not intended to get up here until the final sequence of the game.
There he is. Now the final wave's going to come in. Take them both out with the Mech Cannon. Oh no, this was sad. Now it's time to go kill the two bosses. I'm just going to jump down. Hope I don't get shot in mid-air.
Didn't get shot in mid-air.
Ground, epic. It's fine.
That's legendary for you. One shot.
Smart enemy as well. Come on, you won't. You almost did. Grab a gun. Oops. Little stutter. Nice, and that is enough to get keys flying towards us. Now I'm going to prepare for the final fight. Watch again for the 0-8 people. I'm going to put this on YouTube.
On my way.
If you want to. Luckily, I've got enough concussion rifle ammo to get back up to the reaction of the Mech Cannon, which also skips some enemy spawns that would have to deal with 3 extra zealots if we ran up the stairs. Oh, I remember that, Lucas.
This is Keys on hot approach to platform Delta.
I do need to kill these grunts so that they don't shoot me while I'm jumping up to the cannon.
Get on that mass driver and clear me a path.
Halo reach moment.
And
Your
this
body's
is the
blocking.
final objectives of the game.
No, I'm overestimate. Nice. I had to hit 2 triggers to make the game think that I ran up these stairs. Do it, Rob, and then I'll react to that and upload that.
I need it dead.
Put your hand up if you don't know you could headshot engineers.
I did not know that. Happy to admit.
It's actually quite important because I've got just enough ammo to take care of this guy. He doesn't troll and hide. And I've got about 1:20 to do so, so I'm in no rush.
Yeah, you're usually intended to sort of deal with all of those guys and then start the final sequence, which is on a timer. But if you use the concussion rifle to again skip your way up, you can start the timer and then deal with the enemies in the meantime. So it's very efficient.
But
Time will be
NA.
coming up somewhat soon.
Yeah, about 15-ish seconds. You could say that,
Yeah.
Band Nerd. You
As
could
soon
say
as
that.
Too Easy shoots the,
Hey, what's up, goofball?
the big weak spot on this big ship, and it fades out, that'll be time. There's a
Alright.
very specific lineup in order to get into the Mach Cannon and shoot it just in time before it gets nuked by all these Banshees.
And time.
Welcome to Reach.
GG.
Alright. Thanks for having
Thanks
me,
for the follow, bro.
Speedsouls, and thanks for organizing this whole thing, Ben, and thanks for being here with me on comms. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Coming up next, I'm really excited. 2 youngsters, Kid Trouble and
Welcome to Reach.
Voltronion, running Halo 2. Legendary.
excited for that. So definitely stick around for more Halo. Also, I just want to say a massive shout out to the Speedsouls. There's the Too Easy Lore thing. It was my introduction to speedrunning in general. It's when I first discovered what speedrunning was. The reason my name is Too Easy is I came into a Capitan Twinon stream and he misread my Twitch name and said, hey, Too Easy. And then only called me Too Easy and I was like, hey, I like it. I'm going to change my name to Too Easy. So that's why my name's Too Easy. That's the lore. And
Yeah, it's Capitan.
yeah, shout out to my favorite speedrunning community on Twitch. You guys are the best. And thanks for having me, and thanks for everyone who's watching and supporting the great charity cause.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Too Easy.
It's always
for
interesting
that,
to see.
that awesome run of Halo Reach.
I never know how long the like the stream stays up after a marathon run. So after every single marathon run, I'm just kind of sitting there, like assuming the camera's on me, like waiting for them to tell me it's
Shift here on the mic.
And it's-
So once again, my
It's
name is
always longer than you think.
Sam Without a Plan. It's been my pleasure to host for you today. We're going to take a quick intermission to get ready for the next run. And when we come back, we'll have our next host, Goofball, on the mic. So stay tuned, everyone.
See, look, I'm still there. There we go, finally. All right, that was cool to rewatch. Hey, Goofball, they mentioned Goofball. All right, that was cool. So yeah, if you liked the ending of that run, the Zoo Raiders, and feel like watching the whole thing, you could go watch it on the Speedsouls Twitch, or you could wait for me to upload later today my reaction to that run that I just did on Twitch now, and then see yourself at the end of it. No stripping off shirt cooldown yet. Actually, my what happened immediately after is my flatmate bust in and gave me a ginger beer because my flatmate was watching. That was pretty cool. You didn't hear the Capitan lore? Yeah, that was. I was excited to. I'd never told anyone that story before about how I got my name, so saved it for the perfect time. Unfortunately, I don't think he saw it though, because he was sleeping or like practicing for his own run. It was a pretty bad time slot for EU. So like all my favorite Dark Souls streamers were sleeping.